Hello everybody, and welcome to my first impressions of the game RimWorld by Ludion Studios. So this RimWorld is a kind of, survival simulator game in which you play a colony, a group of 3 colonists who have crash-landed on this planet, on the rim of the galaxy, hence the name RimWorld, and they need to do whatever they can to survive. So it's exciting stuff here. Should point out, first off though, this game is pre-alpha right now. This is the pre-alpha build. I got it by paying, like $40 I think I did. Even though $30 was the minimum to get into the pre-alpha for this game on the website's Kickstarter. But if you missed out on the Kickstarter, which literally just finished, like this past Friday, I believe? The past Friday, But, if you missed out on that, you're not out of luck. You could still get in on this by going to the RimWorld website and paying $40, or whatever price you deem, for whatever edition of the game you want, on the game's website. I believe all the rewards are the same as on the Kickstarter. But anyways, let's go ahead and jump into things instead of taking forever. The game, at this base value, one of the coolest things about the game is that it has like a creative storyteller to it. Like, it's an adaptive storyteller where the game will watch your situation and try to figure out what it deems interesting to happen next within the story. And it does have all these different modes that affect that. Like, there's a Cassandra Classic, which is obviously the most standard one. It has a increasing difficulty curve, so things start out easy and get harder later on. While like the tough one, you know, the ones that I find, the one that I'm most interested in is actually Randy Random, personally, because there's basically no curve to it whatsoever. It just throws out random events at you, which I think is the most like real life, personally. So that's the one that I think I might want to check out in depth later on, even if it might be a little unfair. But for the sakes of this video, we're just gonna go with Cassandra Classic. Could check all the advanced settings. All it really does is increase the size of the map, though, I believe, at this point. Let's just go with the standard small one, because, you know, we're keeping things simple right now. Then we get to set up our 3 starting colonists. And really, we don't have much of an effect on anything. We can't change their statistics or anything like that, but we can randomize them to get like a different set. Like, if I saw this dude, saw that he's really good at mining and was like, hey, I don't want a miner, I could just hit the random button and I'll get someone else, even though I kind of wish I didn't now, because I liked the idea of that guy being a really good miner. Let's get rid of this research dude. Ah, okay, another really good miner. I'll start with this dude. Could change their names as well, but for the sake of this video, we're just gonna jump into this. So let's generate this, world on up. Got a guy named Payne. It's like Max Payne, I suppose. Alright, the 3 of you awake in your long sleep, sarcophagy? It's a little bit hard to read. You guys might not be able to tell, but the text is a little bit small right now. That's one thing I'd like to change. Just make the text a teeny bit bigger in this game. To the sound of sirens and ripping metal, you barely get to the escape pods before the ship is torn apart. A few hours later, you land on this unknown RimWorld. As pieces of shredded starship fall around you, you start making plans to survive. And here we go, landing on in our 3 little escape pod things. So let's see. Let's check out our people. What the hell is up with this lady? She's kind of got like a male member shape to her, to say the least. I mean, like, look at those thighs. That's weird. Okay, so starting off here, we don't really have anything. Luckily, we do have these good couple of beds set up, 1 gun for us, a storage area, and a dump area, and also some resources scattered about. But at the beginning, these are all marked with a little X. Basically, we gotta select those, hit the F, which will allow my units here to actually interact with those things. And a really interesting thing, I don't need any of you. really interesting thing about this game is that the characters kind of go about on their own thing. See? I didn't tell these units to go pick up that stuff and put it in the storage bin. They're doing it themselves. And you can give them orders, like, what the hell is this dude doing? Briggs is just, like, wandering off into the oasis over here, or the complete unknown. But basically, you can give them commands, but for the most part, one of the simplest, and in a very good way, things about the game is that characters just kind of do their own thing. Well, you don't really... I'm pausing the game right now to explain this. You don't really guide individual people. You more set up tasks, and then they'll start doing them as a group thing. For instance, let's pull up this architecture thing, and if we go into orders, we can tell our people to start mining out that area. But now they're all going to start doing that. So one thing I want to show off here really quick is the overview section. This gives you an overview of all your colonists, and it allows you to select what skills you want them to do. I believe the colors of all these squares also symbolize what they're really good at. Like, since there isn't even squares in these two, that means Haley can't even do any doctor or warden work. Or research? No, her research thing is just rather dark. So, we're going to want to base our whole squad on that. I haven't gone into too much firefighting in my time playing the game, so we're going to keep all the people equipped with that, and let's make Payne a doctor. Not a warden, of course, and if she's going to be a doctor, then I want her to do good research. Those should, hopefully work well together, and she shouldn't be doing much cleaning if she's a doctor, probably shouldn't be doing much heavy work at all, but I find hauling is pretty important for everyone to have, or work on. So let's have her be good at constructing, but she won't do any of the planting, or anything like that. That sounds good to me. Maybe she could still clean then. Everyone can clean. Keep the house a little bit tidy. Briggs, you'll be the warden, since you're the only one who can. And basically what I like to do is, at this point, I like to have one person focused on mining and one person focused on growing. Luckily, that works out with this squad, because Briggs looks like he's really good, if I'm correct as to what these squares mean by being more bright, while Haley is a much better miner, so let's set up all these accordingly. Is there anything else? No. I think that looks good to me. Yeah, that'll be fine. And everyone can construct things a little bit, because I think that works out really well as well. So let's see. Then, another one of the things that I like to start off with, at least how I've started things, is... Oh, wait, first here, let's have Briggs take the gun. Since he's, like, a pretty unique-looking character, kind of got a big load on him, I think he'll be perfectly fine for that. Our first priority, though, is keeping ourselves from starving to death. I don't know why I clicked on research there. So what we're going to want to build is this nutrient paste dispenser. This is basically a food maker, if we're going to be really blunt about it. And let's put it in this little desert section right here. We want to keep it near the storage thing. Oh, and if you're wondering what this little yellow orb that's being shown on above this, that's like the spot where people interact with the machines. Like, for example, this comm control center. This is a thing that I think really shows it well. As you can see, it's some kind of computer device, and where the person would sit is right where that little orb is. So let's see. We want to build this thing because this will actually get our food, how do I want to word it? It like fertilizes our food, keeps the food from going bad, because what we have right now is some very unhealthy food, so our characters will get sick if they eat any of that. And let's see, we should also set up a building area, a growing area to start growing some plants. Unfortunately, it looks like it's going to be somewhat limited here. Building our farm, just like in Don't Starve, then if you're familiar with my series in that game right now. So let's go ahead and just build 4 of these. I always feel like 4 is a good number for my experience in this game so far, and they're somewhat far apart. Maybe I should have built this thing right there. That might have been a good spot, but I think this will be fine. Yeah, we'll be fine, because those people won't bring the food directly to this thing. They'll bring it to the storage container. Then whenever they're hungry, they'll, I think they go from the storage container over to this machine. So let's see. Then, as one would expect, the next important thing after that is keeping a good energy supply. So we want to build a couple of batteries, and then a way for us to get power to those batteries. So, yeah, I don't need to know. Basically, that was telling me space bars for the pause button. I still have this tutorial up, even though I probably should have closed it in all honesty. But, so we have, this generator here. But, this one, in all honesty, have not figured out how to build it. So we're just, you know, it's a first impressions video. I've put in like 2 hours before this one, trying to figure out as much as I can before deeming it worthy enough to play or start playing. So what we're gonna do is build, from my experience, just getting 2 of these up seemed to work rather fine, but maybe we could build 4. If we want to build 4 in the future, we'll go ahead and do that. But, and then we also need to build a little power line, so, so the power will actually go from these, solar generators to the batteries, and from the batteries to this little, food machine here, so we can actually get ourselves, some sustainable life. Speaking of which, we actually might, oh, here's some, like, bison or something like that. We could try to kill them later. What are these things called? Muffalo! That's like that's funny. Funny how strikingly similar in a way that it is to the beefalo and Don't Starve. We have a nice little, okay, here's some resources that we should definitely, consider grabbing. The section that we're mining out right now, that's getting us the exact same kind of resources, but in higher numbers. These ones just lying around are always like 50 or 40, while we get more on the lines of 95 from these things. So let's see. As you can see, our solar power is effectively heating up our batteries here, but a problem we might encounter later on is that this thing will, if it starts raining, our batteries will catch on fire because they'll like overheat and go crazy like that. So we need to mark this area. Let's see, where's it's in orders. Our characters will only put out fires if they are in the home zone. So we could just mark that whole area right ahead like that. Might as well, honestly, mark like our whole plane of existence, because I think this will be a cool place for us to chill and live for a while. And if you're annoyed by that little blue light, just right click and it'll all go away, but it'll still be registered as our spot. As you can see right now, our people are all starting to eat, because if you check their needs, they're all pretty low on food, but because they're awesome smart AI dudes, and once you have all this set up, they'll feed themselves, so you don't need to worry about all that idle work. Same goes for sleep. Once it gets to night and they're all tired, unless you have them doing their own objectives, they'll go ahead and get some sleep. Let's even speed up time a little bit. So, our characters, as I just showed right there, each character has a needs screen, and it shows their food and rest. I don't know if there's gonna be more that'll show up here. It shows what they're carried, or carried filth. I think that's just like they're covered in dirt or something like that. And it shows their effectiveness. Their effectiveness is based on their 2 traits here, and of course that means how well they carry out all their tasks. But they also have character themselves, which mainly shows all their traits. Right now the traits don't do anything, or at least these specific traits. A little bit of backstory, and their skills all set up in here, and of course they will level up as they get better in those skills. And then also their thoughts. This shows their loyalty to you, their happiness, and their fear. These meters are incredibly important. If their loyalty goes down, or their happiness or fear goes up, any of that could make them go berserk and start attacking each other, or go a little bit crazy and wander away from the camp. All of that is stuff that I've experienced before in this game, so things can get a little hectic if you don't plan things out well. Going back to the fire situation that I mentioned before, one thing that we'll want to do before too long is, if we go into all of our building materials, we'll want to structure. Here we go. We'll want to start laying out the walls to our house. Like, here, I'll show, like, this could be start of our plan for the next day, I suppose. If you just... And a really cool thing about this game is it's all very, easy and simple to do all this stuff. It's just lining it up like that. Can I line it through there? Okay. I was a little bit worried that whatever this object is right here was going to be a problem for us. And if we finish lining it up there, then we'll get, like, the whole wall to our house. Of course, we need to add in a couple of doors. Otherwise, people won't be able to get out. So let's put one there, one there, one there, and another one there. So let's see. Oh, I probably should put it like there or there, so we wouldn't need to keep on building that. But whatever, it's fine. And since our power cord is going through all that, it provides power throughout the entire house, which also powers the doors, which is really nice. I think the doors work even without power, because with the first house I've ever built in this game, if people were walking in and out through the doors without a problem, I'm pretty sure. I'm imagining the doors are more of a safety issue. I don't know why this door is, like, sideways like that, but once again, this game is in pre-alpha, so if that is a bit of a glitch, be forgiving of that kind of issue. One thing you might notice in my house is that, number one, it's really dark. That's because I don't have any lights set up. But also, in addition to that... Oh no, our food dispenser broke. That sucks. But you might also notice this little bit of light right there. That's because, actually, they can't put a roof right there because, as you would expect, realistically, there's nothing supporting it. So if we just put one piece of building right there, I think that should, allow a roof to be built in that place. Yep, that supplies as a support. And there we go, our full house has cover then, which means these batteries aren't going to be at any risk of catching on fire from the rain or anything like that. So let's see. Now that we have all this set up, though, it's definitely a good thing to build some lights for our people so they aren't, like, depressed in the dark. Oh, that's not gonna get any power to it, though. Is there any way I could connect it? Like, I don't know. Let me see, I'll try putting one of the sun lamps, like, right about here? In the middle? I think that should be good enough for lights. Basically, these, standing lamps, they, like, emit a fair amount of light, while these sun lamps emit a hell of a lot. They are... Oh, excuse me. They are very, very bright, as you'll probably be able to see right here when it's finished. Yeah! Yeah, see, that thing is, like, incredibly bright. Honestly, we might not even need that. Let's go ahead and sell it really quick. Yeah, I think that's bright enough. So let's see. We are getting some weird, these little texture errors that are kind of popping up all over the place. This has been a pretty frequent thing in my play so far. It's kind of been pertinent through all of my play. But in all honesty, that's not really, it's not all that bad. It's just a little distracting. And once again, this is a pre-alpha. So, it's like the... pretty close to the earliest of the early that you could get. I like how this lady is sweeping this area when it's like frickin' outside. It's like sweeping your lawn to your house or something like that. A little unnecessary. But anyways, I'm liking how this colony is going, but to show off some of the issues that can actually take place with colonies later on, let's just go ahead and say goodbye to this one and check out this one that I was playing earlier and the situation that I'm in here. So something that, in this one, unfortunately, I was just struck by one of the random events that can happen ever so frequently in this game, at least as far as I know, and I had a blight. Like, I started this whole garden area right out here, but then randomly all of my crops just died because I guess it was a bad harvest or something like that, which unfortunately destroyed my whole house, I mean my whole farm surplus, but there are these berries that I could get food from instead. Oh yes, Well, one thing I did so far is, one thing that can irritate your people and make them less happy is having them not have their own individual rooms. Oh shoot, my thing broke down right here. What is all this about? A local squirrel has gone mad and will attack everyone it sees. Where is that local squirrel? I gotta shoot it then. Oh shoot, there it is! Oh my god. Who has the gun? Oh, of course it's my dude who's sleeping. I'm pretty sure he can't even use it, though. Disabled. Harden is not drafted. See, that's one thing I need to figure out. I'm not sure what exactly, or how exactly you draft a unit. If they just need to start off that way, or if it's a skill they develop later on. Oh god, oh god. I gotta check my lady's health. Where is her health listed anyways? That's something I haven't seen before. Okay, wounded. That's my blood. I've been wounded in a fight. Okay. I'm guessing that if that goes up to 100, she'll be in trouble? But she killed the squirrel, so that's fine. Squirrel, you can be marked as A-okay. I'm hoping that'll be some kind of food that we could bring back for ourselves. That's the first time I've ever seen a squirrel attack, and it's pretty funky if I do say so myself. And I gotta have a little bit of respect for these people as well, because, oh sweet, okay, I think she's healing in the night because of those little, you know, the red hospital plus signs. But gotta respect these dudes to some degree, because they leave all the lights on at night, and apparently they sleep perfectly fine. But, as I was saying before, units will actually become more happy with their situation if they have their own rooms to sleep in. So this dude, since he's the researcher, he is the researcher, right? Let me check that out in this. Hardin, he's the doctor. Yes, and I have him researching. So I gave him this pretty cool research bench. Can we have him do anything with that? Cannot prioritize research is a long-term task. Okay. That's something I'll have to figure out later, I suppose. So yeah, I gave him this room to be happy in, and a bed. Not sure what exactly the difference is between the beds and these things. You can label them as prisoner stuff, though, and if you do that, oh, whoa. Turning on prisoner mode affects the whole room. Uh-oh. Okay, cancel. Okay, so since it affects the whole room, then I suppose Murphy wouldn't be able to sleep in there then. Apparently I made this bed unknown since I marked it as a prisoner one for a little bit. Can you harvest the squirrel, dude? Let me see. Yeah, let's haul the dead squirrel before he... Oh, we just put it in the junk, though? That sucks. Okay, that makes me a little sad. Maybe there'll be a use for that in the future, but one thing you might have noticed, I put a little bit of tiling in this room. I don't know if tiling is completely necessary, but I think it looks nice. Why are you eating in his room? Get out of there, lady. Let's see. So, while we can, we might as well go ahead and build some more, Actually, you know what? I should probably focus on building some defenses. Yeah. One thing that the game does that I haven't focused on too much is in the top right corner, they give you a list of things that you need to focus on. Like I need an equipment rack, apparently. And I need a research project, and I need defenses. Very important for sure. So we could build these auto turrets, which will automatically defend us. But unfortunately they get destroyed when they're badly damaged, and they cost for a hell of a lot. So if I'm gonna put one of those down, I'd want to be able to predict where our enemy will be coming from. From the looks of things so far, I think it would have to be from the bottom right or left, or the... Oh, no. Looks like it has to be the bottom left or right, unless they kind of have a spaceship that they land in or something. So, that's another interesting about this game. This game has, this game went through quite a long history before it got to this point. It actually went through a lot of stages, one of them even being like a zombie simulator, if I remember correctly. And, through that whole process, the game went through a lot of different original gameplay mechanic ideas, and through that, this game actually has a pretty in-depth combat system. So that's one thing that I don't think we'll get to in this video. This moon has orbited behind a gas giant and an eclipse has begun. That sucks because we're not going to get any power for this day, but I think we have enough in our supply to work out for us pretty well. Dude, do you need any sleep? Oh no, you're pretty good. I'm doing good gardening, my good sir. But we probably should start focusing on setting up our defenses. We could also make a table. That'd be pretty nice. But let's see, where is it? There are sandbags that we could build. There we go. These are basically, kind of like defensive fortifications that you could put around your base. And your characters will dynamically use those as cover whenever fights break out. So I think it would probably be a wise idea, let's go one more out there, to build like a nice kind of outer layer to our base with these things. I think that might be a good choice for us. I don't know what exactly the evil raiders will do to us if they come and strike, but if they'll just try to kill us or if they're going to like try to harvest our crops and steal them. But obviously I want to be prepared for whenever they do inevitably come. So let's see. I would like these berry bushes to be here, but I guess I'll probably have to get rid of them. Let's put that down there. And then we're gonna wait on the rest of this, because I think I want to expand my house, while leaving a little area open right here for, obviously, the solar panels to grow. So far, in my experience, I actually might want to build more batteries in the future. I could go for 2 more. So let's go ahead and do that, because these solar eclipses could definitely cause an issue with, this kind of thing can persist in the future. But, basically, so far from my experience, 2 solar panels have worked perfectly fine, but obviously I don't have, like, the biggest home in the world built at this point. Oh, well, this is interesting. Everyone knows that you don't want to stay on this rock for long, but Murphy is suggesting that you give the colony a name anyways. What should it be called? Crashville? How about 69... How about 69 Central? I like that. It's a much better name than Crashville. Not to be mean to Murphy. Was it you who had that idea, Murphy? It was a terrible idea anyways. So let's see. I'll probably want to get rid of these 2 things right here and start building a separate room right here, then expanding the house along down this way, as I was saying before. Because, like I was saying, I think it would probably be most ideal to build our defenses like right here, or somewhere down in this area, but I wouldn't want to just build random turrets sitting around until I actually had the house expanded to that area. But anyways, it's too bad I didn't get to show off any of the combat mechanics stuff, but I am planning on doing a series on this, so if you want to get into any of the deeper, meatier, greedy stuff, you could definitely stick around for that. But I think that's going to call it for this first impressions on RimWorld so far. It's really cool game. I like it a hell of a lot from the very little that I've played so far. Definitely had a lot of hype built up for this one, and a lot of people have too as well. Okay, on a side note, this game I think it did well over 200% of its original Kickstarter goal, which is freaking crazy. But also pretty awesome that any game, or any project on Kickstarter could do that well. But anyways, this is going to be it for RimWorld. Definitely check it out. I'll put links to anywhere where you could pick up the game, like the game's website in the description. And I will see you all next time.